Hello everyone, it's Shane Kanto, your Wasteland reviewer, and sorry about the little bit of delay. It's been 2 weeks since I filmed any reviews. Last weekend I was gone for most of the weekend, and honestly there haven't been a whole lot of new films out, and it's been a lot of like Jumanji and Greatest Showman holding over, and a lot of the Oscar films expanding and stuff like that, so I haven't had a whole lot of films to review. So only have a couple this go around this week, most of which I got to watch on streaming, which includes this one, which is my review for Crash Pad. And this film came out last year, and I saw some pretty positive reviews, and I was pretty interested in checking this one out. And it came out on Hulu? Yes, it's on Hulu. And I watched it and really enjoyed it. It's been almost 2 weeks since I watched it, and I'm still thinking about it and still enjoying it, so good signs. But to talk about this one, this is directed by Kevin Tent, and it's a film about a young pothead who is kind of just like floating around in life, trying to figure things out. He's in like a late 20s, early 30s crisis kind of thing, and he's been having this affair with this woman, and the film starts right off with her telling him that she has a husband, and him freaking out, and her husband finding out, and him moving in with our main character, played by Domhnall Gleeson, and craziness ensues, and romantic comedy things happen, and honestly, I rather enjoyed this film quite a bit. It has a nice pace to it, has a lot of high energy to it, and I give a lot of credit to that to Domhnall Gleeson, who I'll talk to about more in depth in a little bit, but Kevin Tent does a nice job of moving this film along and fleshing out this story, because it's not super complex, but it does have fun with how it all plays out and everything. There's a couple of fun, interesting sequences, including one with Billy Ocean, which I thought that was really interesting, and they do some fun things with certain sequences, like montages and stuff like that. But overall, the tone is really well set in the opening scene, which I love the opening scene, and Domhnall Gleeson just in his high-pitched, like manic voice that he has in this film, freaking out about finding out that this woman, this older woman that he loves, has a husband, and it's very zany, it's very goofy, but the thing is, it does balance well tonally when it does have to face the actual emotional payoffs in the film, which honestly I did get the emotional payoffs. I would have liked to be more connected with some of the characters, which I'll talk about in a minute, but I really do feel like by the end, I really felt for both our main character played by Domhnall Gleeson and the husband played by Thomas Hayden Church when they make their growth, and how both of them help each other become more well-rounded people, because Domhnall Gleeson has zero confidence in himself, and it just kind of throws himself to the world, and actually kind of a Woody Allen kind of like, oh, this whole world is so hard on me, and then just kind of that. But also he does get a lot of opportunity to have some quirks and fun with it. And in terms of cinematography, Seamus Tierney doesn't get a whole lot of anything really special to do in this film in terms of cinematography. It's pretty straightforward, well shot. They do a good job shooting this film. It's in focus the whole time. But in terms of the writing by Jeremy Catalino, the story there's nothing too crazy or unique about this particular story, besides the fact that the premise, you usually don't see this kind of thing in romantic comedies when you're dealing with some cheating spouse. You don't usually see them moving in together and having a crash pad and them doing all these bro-y college things that Thomas Hayden Church misses about his life. It's like, man, I'm wearing like pink and stuff and spending my weekends doing all this fancy businessy stuff, and I miss just wanting to smoke weed all around and just like hang out, man, and going out. And that's basically him trying to get Domhnall Gleeson to be his wingman as well, who doesn't know what the hell he's doing, so he's a terrible wingman. But their chemistry is really interesting. In terms of the characters, I love the main character in this film, and I'm sorry forgot to look up his name again. It's been 2 weeks since I watched this, but if you've noticed, I really connect usually with actors' names and not character names. Whoops. But so Domhnall Gleeson's character in this film has a lot of stereotypes of like a lead in a romantic comedy. He's a stoner, he's lazy, he's just like, oh, to the world on me. But the thing is, he has a lot of interesting written in quirks about him. Like, has this very, very well defined fine knowledge of furniture and stuff like that. And like, he likes to go to a furniture place and just sit around on the nice furniture and just relax. It brings him peace. He has this thing for Dawson's Creek, and he's a hopeless romantic, and he loves Billy Ocean music and dances with no shame. And there's one scene where he dances to some Billy Ocean, and it's one of my favorite scenes in the whole entire film. And Thomas Hayden Church's character, I feel like he had a decently written character, but the female characters in this, I don't feel like get a whole lot written for them. I feel like the performances, though, by Christina Applegate and Nina Dolorev, they do a really nice job with what they're given, but I don't feel like they get a whole lot to do. But both Domhnall Gleeson and Thomas Hayden Church really elevate their characters. This isn't a super deep film, but it has nice themes of finding oneself, finding your comfort, finding your confidence in being who you are. And it's okay to be a little quirky and a little weird as long as you believe in yourself and feel good about yourself and really own it. And don't have to be somebody else for people to like you. And I did appreciate that about this film. This isn't a groundbreaking film. It's a pretty straightforward romantic comedy, but it's really elevated by Domhnall Gleeson's performance. I love him in this. This is kind of weird to say, but it's one of, if not my favorite performance of his, because he just has so much manic fun going on in this film, and he gets to do so many fun things and just be quirky, and just the way he delivers lines is so fantastic, and he just owns them. And Thomas Hayden Church I really enjoy in this film. They both have some great chemistry together. I love their scenes together. It does drag a bit at certain points and gets a bit repetitive, but Christina Applegate and Nina Dolorev do a nice job. This is definitely my final thoughts. It's a slightly above average romantic comedy that's really elevated by great charisma by Domhnall Gleeson. And I'm going to give Crash Pad a B-.